What is goody YouTube? What is good? We are back with another banger 76 hour podcast. We have not been live for like a grip. I, I want to say probably about like a month and a half or like so. Um, so welcome back to everyone in the sound of my voice. We are going to wait maybe a minute just to see who comes in the actual chat. But now it's here too. What's good, my guy? Long time no see. How is life?
Life is lifing, bro. I mean, just feel like that. Life is lifing, but it's all good. And yeah, like you said, like we haven't talked Sixers in a minute. A lot has transpired with this basketball team since we last spoke about them. So, yeah, it's just a whole lot of stuff to get into. But yeah, bro, all is well, bro. I can't complain.
What's good, man? Um, I think things are going well here too. I feel like and like me and you just like came off of this like pod, but like we were saying how like things have been changing so much, so like much, just
Next.
like growing up and essentially becoming men. And I don't
No,
know
facts, bro.
about you, but like I'm scared to grow up. So
Bro, I
like,
mean, I ain't gonna hold you I definitely feel that. And like maybe like you think this way too, but I feel like after you turn 21, life moves like super fast, bro. Like the whole time period I feel like from like 2019ish to like where it is now has been like the fastest like 5 or 6 years of my life, bro. Like time just be flying, bro. Um and it's, we're growing up in a generation that was, different than what our parents did, where, you
mm,
got people buying homes at like 21 and living off of $15 an hour salaries and stuff like that. But like, nowadays just to get by, you need like a solid like 60K. And that's just,
if that, bro,
yeah, bro.
if
And
that.
depending on what city that you live in, you know what I'm saying? Because, you
Yeah,
know,
bro.
60K in Boston or 60K in a place like New York, I don't even know what that gets you there. You know what I'm saying? So,
Not
um,
much. Not
yeah,
much.
like a closet with a window. But yeah, bro, like it's getting real critical, but we've both been, working real hard, so I really think that, something's going to transpire pretty soon, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, just being adults out here in the real world and, navigating everything and paying bills and just trying to keep our sanity throughout the whole process with everything else that's going on is it's definitely a challenge. That's why I'm saying life be lifing, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, bro.
we
Yeah,
still here, you know what I mean? And
most
we still
definitely. Most
putting in
definitely.
work. So it's
Most
gonna
definitely.
definitely pay dividends. So one day we gonna come on this podcast and you gonna be like, yo, no, I just caught the range, bro. I just caught the Range Rover.
Sir,
I'm like, oh, word, bro. Say that. Say that.
say less. Say less.
You know
Say
what I
less.
mean?
I agree.
So that's going to be
Facts.
coming real soon. I really truly do believe that. So, but in the meantime, as J. Cole said, it's beauty in the struggle. You know what I'm saying? So we just got weather the storm until, we get to where we want to be. So as the Sixers would say, trust the process.
Very eloquently stated. Welcome to the 76 hour podcast. Cue the intro.
I think you on mute, bro. Yeah, I can't. Hold up. Why can't I hear you? That's crazy. Yo. Hold up. Let me try to hold up. 1 second. Like All right. All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can like
All
you
right.
hear me?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I
Cool.
bet.
We back.
Welcome back. We are back. Welcome back to an episode of the 76 Hour Podcast. It is your like Dean. I'm here with my main man's this way, Nizzy Now Jack Stacks. Welcome to the
Yes,
second half
sir.
of the regular season. Your boys, the 76ers, are 32 and 22. I believe they are like fifth in the East. Um, they began the actual year on a world like hell tear. Embiid was actually putting up historical numbers. We
Facts.
like stayed in the top two for like most of the first 60. Sorry, the whole first like third 30 games. Um, Mac Maxi started doing his thing so much so to where he was given his first All Star nod. Congrats
Yes, sir.
to our guy.
Maxi.
Um, Everything was looking great until Embiid played on a back-to-back against the Golden State Warriors, where like one Jonathan Kaminga fell on his knee, dived into Joel Embiid's knee, and he wasn't even given a flagrant foul, which I think they should have done. But like, hey, um, lead us to like now. Embiid has been out the like last 10 games, and since that time, the boys have slid down. They have slid from second, third, all the way to fifth, playing some very suspect basketball. Coach Nick Nurse definitely has been trying new schemes, trying to basically plug and play with the actual big man's absence. But as we know, losing an MVP is a big deal. Um,
For real.
so the Sixers end up may end up making a few trades. We swap outs. Pat Bev, Dog Bull, and a few picks for Buddy Hield. And no, but Buddy Hield. I'm sorry. We swap him out for Campaign. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
with
you
the
right. Yeah,
Bucks.
you right.
And then we trade Furkan Korkmaz, Markeith Morris, and a
Philly
few
ball.
picks. Philly ball through and through for one Buddy Hield. We also pick up a
Another Philly
known
ball.
guy named Kyle
Philly
Lowry,
ball.
another one. Shout out to Bulls coming back home. So now you basically have the squad led by Joel, Maxi, Tobias, Batum, and there's one more bull.
Ubre.
What's yes, Ubre with a few additions. It doesn't look
Mm-hmm.
like Embiid is going to be back anytime soon. So it seems as though the actual squad is going to tread water until then. Now, what is your thoughts on the first half of the year?
Well, I mean, like you said, it was going really well for like the first couple of months, and I mean, I know Joel Embiid's not eligible for the MVP now because he doesn't meet the game requirement that the Players Association just implemented, but he was having an MVP caliber year. I think he was averaging like 36 and 12.
Mm,
He dropped 70 points one game. Like he was having, like you said, a very historic year. And with the way that he was playing, if he were to continue playing like that in the playoffs, I really like our chances against anybody like that. Like that's how well he was playing. Um I really do like the brand of basketball that the Sixers are playing now. Like everything is much more fast paced in comparison to what it was last year. Um Maxi, as you said, has became an all-star for the very first time. He has been balling out this
Our
season.
boy
Yes, Maxi has been
franchise,
balling
baby.
out this season. So, him and Embiid have really been, like the perfect one-two punch. And I think when they were playing together, they were the top scoring duo,
Mhm.
in the league. You know what I'm saying? So it looked really good. Um, up until MB got hurt, which really sucked, and he had to get surgery. Um, but they're hoping that he can be back before the start of the playoffs, which I hope that is the case, just so that he can get a couple of games under his belt before going into the playoffs. Um, I just hope that we can just stay a top 6 seed without Embiid, 'cause I really don't want the Sixers playing in the play-in tournament. Like, if as long as we stay top 6, I think we have a really good shot, like, if we can just really push to at least get the 4 seed just so that we can have home field advantage, within the first round, I think that would be dope, but, um, I mean, you see how much this team struggles without Joel Embiid. Um, you know, uh,
A lot.
anytime when you yeah, like anytime when you lose an MVP caliber player like him, your team's not going to look exactly the same. So, it's looked different. We've lost a lot of games that we would have won if Joel Embiid was playing. Um, and it just really it like kind of hurts my heart to see, is like how you said before, like we were like a top 2 top 3 seed, and now we're you know the 5th seed currently. So we still have a talented team. I really do like the addition of Buddy Hield a lot. I really hate to see Marcus Morris go, because we did give him the key to the city, and he was playing well later on in
Right.
his
No, you
tenure with
definitely
the
was.
Sixers. But to get a player like Buddy Hield, I mean, I feel like you just gotta take that L, because to have Maxi and Hield in your backcourt when Embiid comes back, I mean, that's a really dangerous combination, and you still have Oubre. We still forget that D. Anthony Melton is hurt too, so he's going to be coming back pretty soon as well. So, when everybody's healthy, and also Robert Covington is hurt, he's going to be coming back soon too. So when everybody is healthy, the Sixers now I feel like have a very deep team. Add in Kyle Lowry, add in Kelly Oubre, um, and of course Nick Batum, who's a really good defender and who can knock down threes as well. The Sixers really have a really talented squad. That Buddy Hield addition helped out a lot, because not only is he a good shooter, but he can also create his own shot as well. He's not strictly just a spot up guy like a Kyle Korver kind of shooter. Like he can, he also moves very well without the basketball too. So um, I'm really excited to see what this team is going to look like when MB comes back. But it also is a question: whereas when MB does come back, is he going to be the same player? Is he going to be as dominant? I don't know. I mean, I don't know the extent to how bad his meniscus tear was, but it was bad enough to where he needed surgery. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
No
So
doubt. Right.
um, you know, I don't know if we're going to see the same Joel Embiid that we saw in the first half of the season when he does come back. So, um, but I mean, definitely looking forward to the future if the Sixers don't make it past the first round this year. I think going forward, having that Maxi and Buddy Hield backcourt with Embiid is a very dangerous combination. And I'm really excited to, really see what this team can be when everybody's healthy, and everybody's hitting on all cylinders. So I am a little like pessimistic, because I just don't think Embiid is going to be the same player when he comes back personally. But definitely moving forward within the next 1 to 2 years, I do think that we have a really good championship roster with the depth that we have, and with the veterans that we picked up. I hate to see Pat Bev go. I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't have traded him, but from a basketball perspective, Kyle Lowry is a better player than Pat Beverly. He's also a
Is
good
he now?
defender. I mean, how many All-Star teams did Patrick Beverly make?
I assume none.
None. And Kyle
Still
Lowry made of like, I think like 2 or 3. I mean, and
two or
and
three. Yeah.
he's a better shooter than he is as well. And I mean, now I don't think he's as good as a defender as Pat Bev, but he can still defend to a good extent too. So um I mean, don't get me wrong, like I'm a Pat Bev fan. I really hate to see him go. I really do. But from a basketball perspective, it's like I do think Kyle Lowry is a better overall basketball player in terms of his skill set. But um
Mm.
the Sixers, like I said, like they have a very deep team. We still have a whole lot of injuries, but once everybody gets back, and hopefully we can get back, I would hopefully say by like the middle to the end of March, get a couple of games in so that everybody can try to play together and see how it really looks. But yeah, I just got to see how it pans out, and I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that Embiid comes back and just starts killing everything and starts averaging, that 36 and 12 a game, but I
42.
just don't see it. But I mean, I could be wrong, so we just gotta wait and see.
I'm still not all in on this team just due to the fact that a lot of this, not a lot of this, all of this comes down to if Joel Embiid is going to be that guy when he comes back. I get the plan that Daryl Morey and the office had during this actual trade deadline. Bolster the offense because Joel Embiid is going to need help on that actual side of the ball since he is injured. Um,
Yeah,
but I'm just scared that like Embiid really isn't going to last, or like maybe not that, but more so, I don't think he's going to be as consistent going into the playoffs just because he's like by that like time he like would have sat out 2 3 4 4 like 5 months while like
right.
let's say like a Jalen Brown, a like Luca, like KD have hit their that have hit their strides,
No,
going
facts,
into
facts.
the actual playoffs. It's a shame though, just because like Embiid is clearly such an otherworldly talent, but I highly think like it actually makes sense why he gets hurt because he's a 7'2", 200+ pound bull doing dumb stuff. Well, not sorry, not dumb, but like doing amazing things
No,
that a
I
seven
feel you.
that like a 7'2", 200+ pound bull shouldn't be doing at all. So clearly the body is like saying, "Hey, bro, let's like chill here."
Mm,
So it's like very sad that like Embiid hasn't had a single healthy season since coming into the like league. Think about that like that for
no,
like
facts.
for like a second. He's like been here what 9 years, 8 years. Missed his first 2 years due
Hmm.
to a foot issue. And then
Yeah,
like each year he just been hurt, 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 hurt,
especially going
hurt.
into the playoffs. Yeah.
Especially going into the playoffs. Joel Embiid has never been has like never been healthy going into the playoffs. So we'll see. The only way that like we actually win this whole thing is if Embiid does his thing, and that comes with being healed. But even beyond that, I guess going into the whole trade piece, I still okay. I had more faith when Pat Bev was like here just due to the fact that like he's a dog. I don't
Hmm.
like calling black men dogs, but in like terms of he's a bull. It is Black History Month, guys. All right. Pat Bev has heart, and like you and I have both been following this team for the last what 10+ years, probably 15+ years, pro, pro, probably more than that. The one thing that this iteration of 76ers basketball does not have, or like never did like have, was heart. We've always had the talent for like the last 5 years since like Ben was here. His like his freshman year, not freshman, his rookie year. We always made it to the second round. Why is that? Because we freaking have talent, but we have never been able to like go past that round. Because when it gets down to the nitty gritty, the like hard, we in the trenches, my guy type time, we fold. We fold like origami wet paper. Um, and I come to the belief that the only way we are going to like stand tall, stand strong, get through those times is like with a player who has uber amounts of heart. You've seen it last year. Game five. Was it game five or like game six? It was game five because
Yeah,
we
yeah.
lost game six. game.
No, you right,
My
you
God.
right.
Game five at home against Ba- Boston. The game is done. Like once again, the Sixers fold. It's like what 2 minutes left. Embiid has his head down, and you know who cusses him out? PJ
PJ
Tucker
Tucker. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
cusses him out, saying, "Yo, get the freaking out!" Look, I, I don't know
Facts,
what
facts.
he I don't know what he said, but it clearly worked. Somehow we win that game.
Barely.
Pat Bev barely. Pat Bev is that same type of dude.
For real.
I feel as though the last key here, the actual last piece here, is to have dogs, is to have hard nosed, heart, talent, Philly type players. If you look at the actual roster now, the only one we like have would be a Kyle Lowry. I
Yeah.
don't believe that he is on the same type of intense
Oh
as
no, of course not.
a like PJ Tuck as
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Pat Bev. Um, Once again, I feel like we've always had the actual talent to like go there. Why? Just because Embiid is the talent himself. Like if you have Embiid, you have a automatic 50 game win year from jump.
No, facts, bro.
Um,
Facts.
I'm just scared of going into the playoffs. We like get in that gritty grind trenches type situation, and we don't have no one to cuss Embiid out. Maybe Maxi finally becomes who like he needs to be, cusses Embiid out in a way, not saying
I, I
all
can't see
ish.
Maxi doing that though. He
But I
likes
can't
to.
see that. I can't
Yeah.
see that. I can't see Nick Nurse cussing cussing him out. Can I see Kyle Lowry? Maybe,
Maybe.
but like, but
That's a big
but
maybe.
but like maybe. I just feel as though this season is wasted, or not wasted, but once again, I get the like offensive scheme that like Daryl wants to play now, and it makes sense. But who is going to be the guy to cuss Embiid out? We don't have we don't have that. So I don't think this year can be the like year just like based off of that.
Mm.
Um, because once again, I just feel as though heart is the last piece. Um, So yeah, I definitely do look forward to the actual offensive schemes. Nick Nurse is going, 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 going to like draw up. That should be fun. But at at like this point, I I want to ring. I'm not really here
Well,
for
you and me both,
round
bro.
one, round two, even shoot the conference chip. Screw that. I
I
want
feel
a
you. I feel you.
finals appearance. And
No,
I,
facts, bro. Facts.
through seeing history, the only way is going to occur for like Joel to like pass that level is if he has somebody to like cuss him out. Maybe this is the year that he 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 cusses his he cusses himself out. But even
I
then,
hope
he's like
so.
still hurt. The bull's still hurt. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I said, I'm kind of pessimistic about if he's going to be like even the same player, and the effect that that's going to have on the team. I do think that with a hobbled Embiid, I do think we will get out of the first round. But I mean, I'm not confident at all. Like you said, I'm not confident at all saying that this is going to be our year. We're going to get out of the second round or whatever. Um, especially with the new additions that we have to this team, even though like from a talent perspective, like you said, it's really good, but um,
Mm.
we don't really have that many dogs. Now, one thing I will say about Kyle Lowry is that he is a champion. He has won a
I agree.
championship, and that's one thing that
Mm.
Patrick Beverly does not have. So he does know what it takes to get there, even though if KD or Klay Thompson was healthy, the Raptors wouldn't have won, but that's another conversation. A chip is still a chip. You know what I'm
Chip
saying?
is still a chip. I agree.
We have to give them, their credit. But yeah, and especially being that, Kyle Lowry is, from Philly. I believe he went to
Mm.
Villanova, he went to Cardinal Doherty, I
Dougherty.
believe.
Mm.
So I
Philly
really
Bull. Shout
think.
out to the Catholic League.
No, facts. So, being that he's in his late 30s, just like how Patrick Bever was, like he knows he doesn't have that much time to, win the chip. So, I think it's still a decent addition, but I still would prefer Pat Bev. Like, even though I do think he's a more talented player, I do think Pat Bev is better for this team, and I feel like he just fits the culture of this team. Because
Culture.
yeah,
Culture guy.
and
Culture.
we have and that's the one thing that this team has lacked for, like a whole lot of years is, culture. We haven't really had like a big like culture really in Philly. I mean, when Allen Iverson was playing, like he set the tone, he set the temperature in the room. We haven't really had a player like that really since like Allen Iverson. So, Joel Embiid, as talented as he is, he's not the best leader. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
um, I just hope that, he can just pick himself up from the bootstraps and just, go to work, and hopefully he can be, some resemblance of the player that he was the first half of the season. But being that he's coming off an injury and we're asking him to win us a chip off of a torn meniscus surgery, I feel like that's
Right,
just a whole
bro.
lot to ask. You know what I'm
Too
saying?
much.
So, especially for a player that, does a lot of work in the paint. He gets fouled a lot. He's very physical. So it's like
Defense
I
too.
yeah, and it's like
Right.
it's hard for me to ask that of, like you said, a 7'2", 200-pound plus player, to take us to a chip, and you're on a bum knee. You know what I mean? So, but like next season, I do have more hope for that. But like I said, I hope that I'm wrong. But barring some kind of miracle, it's just not is just not looking
Ah,
good. It's just not looking good. So, I'm not gonna get my hopes up because I don't wanna,
yeah,
get
bro.
disappointed, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. Like I said, hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe
Mm.
Embiid comes back better than ever and he start frying people, you know what I'm saying? So
Oh my god.
we'll see. So, I mean, even when he was balling in in the regular season, the first half of this season, like I was saying, all I asked is just do that in the playoffs. Just do what you're doing now in the playoffs. Because I mean, Embiid always balls out in the regular season. It's the postseason where it's like,
Yeah, man.
where you at. So he does his thing in the first round, but once we get in that second round and we play a real playoff team, it's
What are you going to do, man? What are you going
exactly.
to do?
So I'm hoping that Maxi can step up to take some of the pressure off of MB. But I mean, even with the games that MB hasn't played since he's gotten hurt, I mean, Maxi has had some good moments. Like he dropped 50. Um, I get I
Twice.
believe yeah, and I think
Twice.
one yeah, and one of those times was against the Utah Jazz, which is a game that
Hmm.
Embiid wasn't playing in.
Wasn't playing. Right.
Um, yeah, so but there's other times where like Maxi, like he doesn't shoot as efficiently as I would like him to. And he's going to have to clean that up. Like he's been here for about 3 4 years now. And he's going to be leaned on heavily in the playoffs. So he's just going to really have to do his thing to take some of that pressure off of Embiid. So hopefully him and Buddy Hield can, do that because Embiid's going to like he can't do it by himself, especially not on a bum knee. So those two players in particular are really going to have to step up if we're going to have any shot at even getting to the conference finals, let alone the NBA
Fun.
finals. So
Right.
we just gotta wait and see, bro. Just gotta wait and see.
I'm at the whole point in my fandom where I just accept what like comes with the actual year. Like I'm not,
Hmm.
and like it's just sad that I don't even get my hope my actual hopes up
Hmm.
anymore. Um, it's like more so
I feel you though.
I'm like obligated to this team, thus I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And like plus these are still my like guys, but it's like it's
I-
definitely a toxic relationship,
No,
very much
facts.
so, very
I
much so.
mean, like for me, and I think like for a lot of Sixers fans, like that playoff game 7 against the Atlanta Hawks in the Wells Fargo Center, I feel
Nah,
like that, like,
that kills
because
you, yo.
it wasn't the fact that we lost, it was how we lost.
How we lost,
If
bro.
if it was like a
Oh my
real
god.
if it was like a real competitive game, both teams going back and forth, whatever, and we lost, it still would have been painful, but it's like, all right, at least we gave it our best effort.
We like Bulls trying,
But
Bulls
when you
trying.
have a 7-foot basketball player
Damn it,
passing
Ben.
up
Damn
a
it.
layup, like that just
Now
goes to show like bro, like this is really what we are. You know what I'm saying? Like we pass like like
we
that like that's what did it
everyone
like for me, bro.
everyone remembers where they were when Ben passed that ball, bro. And
I
it's
was
so
in
wild just because
disbelief.
now I
Like
thought that like it, it's so wild because if I recall, I was with my like man's Quadric at like his crib, and like I was trying to defend Ben because like I'm like no like
trying
he
to come up
tried
any
to
excuse in the
like get
book.
they
Yeah.
he like he like tried to like get the actual better
That
shot,
shot,
and
yeah.
then I sat there
And you kept
and I
watching it.
watched
And
that
you
whole
kept watching
replay,
it. And you kept watching
and
it.
I'm like
It
no
couldn't make
bro
sense.
no no
It couldn't
bro.
make sense. Like he was
Oh my
right
god, bro. Nah,
there,
he's right.
bro.
But I
And
agree.
yeah,
That
like
that
and
is
yeah,
go ahead.
and just going season after, and it's like also knowing that we had Jimmy Butler as well. The fact that we let him go because we thought Ben was going to be the second coming of LeBron James, as Stephen A. Smith said. I mean, but I really thought that Ben was really going to be like that though. Like I can't even lie to you. Like I really thought Ben was going to get a jump shot and that he was going to average like 25 8 and 8. You know what I'm saying? Like I really believed in my soul that he was
I
going
did
to be
too,
that
bro.
player, bro. And I
I did
kept
too.
saying, I'm like, just wait till he get a shot. He's averaging like 17 a game off of layups and dunks. So when he get a
I hope
shot, it's a
live
wrap.
and nuts.
Like I really believed that, bro. And for that situation to not pin out the way it did, it's like we've had a revolving door of stars. We've had the James Hardens, the JJ Redicks, the Jimmy Butlers, and you know what I'm saying. So like it's just like as a Sixers fan, it's just like we want some kind of stability to our team instead of just getting our hopes up and just having Embiid and some other free agent that we bring it in, and then that free agent don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's just been a very emotional roller coaster as a Sixers fan these past like 7 8 years because it's also because of what we've been through in the process. Like there's teams that are bad because they actually have no talent. we were bad because we wanted to be bad. We intentionally traded away Drew Holiday, got Nerlens. You know what I mean? Like we intentionally
Lil Will,
tried to
Iggy.
lose games on purpose to get high draft picks, and we drafted poorly. We drafted like 3 centers, you know what I'm s you know what I mean? Like, I mean, this is something that we can talk on a whole 'nother pod episode, but, like, because of everything that I just said, to get to this point, I feel like that's why it's so, taxing to be a Sixers fan, because it's just like, we've been through so much, and with how it was the way that we've tried to build a championship contending team and for it to not work out. Like, it's like one thing if we're doing stuff like, tanking to then actually be one of the best teams in the league and, we're building a dynasty and we're running back-to-back championships, then cool, because it's like, okay, well, it
Sure.
lets us know that we like all
It
that
worked.
suffering wasn't for
Yeah.
nothing. But now it's just like it has you thinking like was like could have there been a better way for us to rebuild after the Evan Turner, Drew Holiday, Andre Iguodala era instead of just losing games and just trading away everybody and trying to like it just really makes you wonder that because it's like but I mean we also got really unlucky as well. Like Markel Fultz had the weirdest injury ever. Like he was frying in college, fried in the summer league, got into the regular season, and I'm like I've never seen
Yo!
anything
No.
like that before. I've never seen anything like that before. So like even if Markel Fultz would have
Hurts
panned
my
out,
heart, man.
having him and Embiid
Um,
would have been lethal. If
I mean,
he
lethal
yeah, like
because
yeah,
then just because then like Ben wouldn't have had to like shoot. Look, I'm going.
yeah,
He was still going to have to, but if you
yeah,
have like a freaking young James Harden next to
yeah.
and actual and like B plus like Ben, it's reps.
Yeah, so and
It's
I
reps.
mean, thankfully, I really think that Tyrese Maxey is what we hoped Markel Fultz would be. So I mean, the Sixers better be lucky and be really blessed that we drafted Tyrese Maxey because if we didn't draft him, I don't know where this team would be right now. Like this
We
organization
need Chuck. We
would
need
be in
Chuck.
shambles. Like, and Joel Embiid will probably be requesting a trade. Like Tyrese Maxey is what's going to keep Joel Embiid in Philly, you know what I'm saying?
I
So,
agree.
he's
I
really
agree.
kind of like the savior right now of this
The
organization.
franchise.
Yeah, so, but I mean, like I said, I mean, we just gotta see how this season pans out and, I mean, we've seen crazy things happen. I mean, we saw the Miami Heat, who was an 8th seed, get to the NBA Finals last year. So, I mean,
Mm.
we've seen crazy things happen. And, I mean, clearly that's like a once in a lifetime kind of thing, but I mean, anything is possible. So it really just depends on Embiid, but like I said before, like Maxi and Buddy Hield would have to step up. Like they can't fold. You know what I'm saying? So if they do their part and if Embiid can be some kind of resemblance to what he was early on this season, I think that we have a shot. But I mean, everybody got to be healthy too. It's literally going to take everybody. You know what I'm saying? So e- everybody going to be on their A game. But I mean, I mean, as of right now, it just looks like another second round exit. Personally, but like I said, I could be wrong, and maybe this is our year we actually get to the conference finals. Like we haven't really been to a conference final since
So
2001.
one.
Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? So well, like we'll see, but I'm really putting all my hopes on next season. So I'm not trying to get all excited. So that's basically where I'm at right now with with this team. So hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. So that's where I'm at.
Embiid was very careful. The night he last played, he fell, but not in a clumsy manner. It was the other player
True.
who jumped between Embiid's legs and laid on
That
it.
that
I'm
was
sorry.
kind of like a freak accident though. I mean, cause like Embiid wasn't. I mean, like that comment said, like he wasn't doing nothing crazy. Like he fell down and Kaminga just landed on his knee. I mean, like you can't really
Right.
controls. I mean, like it's basketball. Plays like that happen, and unfortunately, it just happened to be Embiid that got the brunt of that fall. So you know that like I can't really
It's
put
unluck.
that injury. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
It's
I mean.
unluckiness
So,
at
and
this
we
point.
like I said, we've been the most unluckiest franchise, I feel like, for the past 10 years with Michael Fultz not panning out, Ben Simmons not wanting to take a jump shot, and B not playing his first 2 years. I mean, it was just like we never had a number 1 draft pick in the process era that didn't have an injury. Like that didn't just come in and had no physical ailments at all. Like it was always something. It's always something, you know what I mean? Like Tyrese Maxey is the only like first round pick, um, at least that I think within this process era, that's like a star player that hasn't really
Hmm.
had any
Yeah.
physical ailments in his rookie year. You know what I mean? Like he didn't
Yes,
have
sir.
no injuries, no funny business. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro. So I'm just really thanking God that the Sixers drafted him because I think it would be like the process part too, because I think Embiid would have requested a trade, and honestly, I can't blame him because he, you know what I'm saying. So he's like, you guys are wasting my prime. So, but yeah, hopefully they can make some noise in the playoffs and we can make it to the conference finals. I do think that we have the team to do it if everybody's healthy, but that's the main key. Everybody got to be healthy. So, um, hopefully we just get really lucky and, like I said, and be come back frying and, we get to the conference finals, but we have to get past Boston. That's the like I'm honestly not scared of the Bucks. I think that the Sixers, if healthy, can beat the Bucks. It's really just the Boston Celtics. I'm not scared of any other team in the Eastern Conference. I'm not scared of the Pacers, the Cavaliers, the Knicks, the
The
Bucks.
Knicks. Yeah.
It is really just Boston. They've had and honestly, like I feel like all they really have is Jason Tatum. Like to me, like Jalen Brown, not like he's overpaid in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
And
He not like that for real, for
I
real.
I would say that like, and this like maybe blasphemous, but I don't even think Tatum is like that, yo.
Really? I
I mean
mean,
like I mean, he's nice. I ain't saying he ain't nice, but like they like really have like built this actual man up to be a light skinned basketball Jesus, bro.
hey
Seriously
yo.
though, like what has he done? I I could like see if like if like man's had at least one MVP, then like fine, all right, whatever.
That's
The
fair.
bull hasn't even gotten that, but I can't even talk smack because he owns the Sixers. He has his best games in like against us. So I can't like talk that much smack, but
He made
I
it to
mean,
an NBA Finals too.
and he lost, and he lost,
He did.
and he
He
lost,
did.
and he
He did.
lost,
I mean, I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, he was quick to bring that up. Like, he lost though. He lost.
and he lost.
But yeah, so like,
Man.
I mean, but the Boston Celtics, I mean, they do have the best record in the league right now. You know what I'm saying?
They
So
friend, bro. They friend.
yeah.
They're like friend. But yeah, I was going to ask you, what do you think about the Bucks hiring Doc Rivers, Glenn, known on this podcast, hiring Glenn as their new like coach.
Um, I like honestly at first I actually thought it was
Don't lie now, bro. Don't
So,
lie.
I mean, like, I thought it was a very calculated move.
Mhm.
I did find it kind of weird that they fired who was the first coach they had? I think his name was Adrian something or
Adrian
I can't
Adrian
remember.
Griffin,
Yeah, and they were, I believe, 30 and 13 at the time of his firing, and apparently he
second
was
in the East.
yeah,
Second
and
in the East.
apparently he was he was bullying Giannis's younger brother. I don't know exactly what he said or did to Giannis's younger brother. I heard that he told him that he wasn't like a good player or whatever, which isn't necessarily, but whatever.
False.
And but I mean, at the end of at the end of the day, like as a coach, you can't be toxic to your players. So, but once again, I don't know how toxic it was or how he said it or if it was. You mean I don't know, so I can't comment on that. But um, Doc Rivers is a coach obviously that has had some experience. He's won a championship. And I said it was a calculated move because I feel like the Bucks just want somebody with experience with a proven track record. Um, so Doc at the time just really seemed like the right choice for the job. But watching the Bucks now, I believe they lost three of their last. I'm sorry, they've won three of their last 10 games. They have not been doing well under Doc at all. Um, and even Giannis has voiced some of his frustrations. In a press conference a few days ago, he was saying that he's had, new coaches like almost every year or so. I can't remember the exact words that he said, but he's like really frustrated. Um, but yeah, it just doesn't seem like a good fit. I mean, for any coach to take over a championship caliber team in the middle of the season, especially if that team is used to playing a certain way throughout the season,
Right.
it's not an easy task. So I do think that there is still time for the Bucks to turn it around. But it's just I mean, it's it's not looking good, but I mean, like I said, it's still time for them to turn it around, but I just think Doc, you know, I think he's kind of stuck in his ways as a coach. I mean, we always say, well, he won a championship. The last time Doc Rivers won a championship, I was 11 years old. That was in 2008. You
Eight.
know what I'm saying? I wasn't even in high school yet. I was still in middle school. You know what I mean? Like 5th, 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a while ago. And we live in a league right now where it's like we live in a league where it's like, what have you done for me lately league.
Lately, type drunk.
And
Yeah.
lately he's blown a lot of 3-1 leads. Lately he's mismanaged a whole lot of games. Lately he hasn't had a lot of success in the postseason. But I just feel like, with the talent that the Bucks have, um, Giannis is often regarded as the best player in the league to a lot of people. So they figure, okay, Doc has the experience, and this is still Giannis's team. They still have Dame Lillard, who just won the All-Star Game MVP. So, um, I just feel I mean, I just figured that they thought, well, we already have the vets here who are MVP caliber players, so they'll be able to make it work. And there is still time for them to make it work. We still have about 2 months of basketball left to play. So, but it's it ain't it ain't looking good. So, we'll, like we'll see how the rest of the season goes. But it ain't it it is not looking good at all.
All I'm gonna say is, Glenn knows how to get a job. Yo, he like must have some
Facts.
dirt on like someone in the front league office because he stays with a like job. It's actually wild though because like I didn't even you would think that him leaving the Sixers the way he did, you would assume that he wouldn't want to coach another team and like not just any team, a team that has Giannis and Dame, where the whole spotlight is like on it. It is like on him. So homie must be like bored. I do think he's a good like coach. Just like based off of stats, if there was a top 10, he would be 10 because he chokes like way too much. But I do think he is a good coach during the regular season. But I'm glad that like he's not our coach no more. Um, Last question, my guy. Um, Thoughts on the All Star weekend?
Um, I mean, the 3-point
It was
contest was
trash.
cool. I mean, I did like the fact that they brought in a WNBA player to go against Steph Curry. Even
Mm,
though she did lose, but I do think, when it comes to shooting, We should incorporate more female players from the WNBA. Um, but the All-Star game in itself just really isn't entertaining to watch, at least for me anymore. There's no defense played. Um, and it's like the only time when we really see NBA players play their best basketball on an All-Star like squad is in the Olympics. Outside of that, we don't really. I mean, the All-Star game is just really it's kind of like a title award. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, I have an All-Star um game player under my belt. So I'm this kind of caliber of player. But when we get to the All-Star game, it's just about having fun and doing dunks. I mean, to have over 200 points scored in the game in the NBA game is crazy. So I do think that they should try to revamp um the All-Star game and add some kind of incentive. One recommendation that I saw was if whoever wins the All-Star game gets home court advantage in the NBA finals. I was like, that's actually not a bad idea because top players from those teams are going to try to duke it out to make sure that they get that, home court advantage. So that's an idea. I mean, I do think more ideas need to be brought to the table, but um the dunk contest was cool. Mac McClung, who was, of course, a part of the Sixers G League team last year, won it again. Um, but I mean, like for me personally, it's not really that entertaining to watch. Like I didn't watch the full All-Star game or the full like I watched basically bits and pieces of everything with the 3-point contest, the dunk contest, and the All-Star game. So it was alright, but it's like it's kind of like the Pro Bowl in football, like nobody wants to watch flag football, and you know what I'm saying? Like it's really just about the title. And then once you get the title, you just show up and have fun. That's essentially all that it is. So, um, it's cool, but I do think some tweaks need to be made to at least make the All-Star game more competitive, in my opinion.
I thought it was garbage trash. I enjoyed the 3 point contest. The one where Dame won, and the one with like Steph versus Sabrina. Um,
Yeah,
you you like you you like know that your product is in trouble when the 3 point contest is better than the dunk contest in the
facts.
actual All Star game. But that's a different story. I don't know how they can like change it, it up. I okay. I do think they like should scrap you you like no East ver- versus West, and it should like be either a 3-on-3 type joint
Interesting.
or a 1-on-1 type joint. Like
A
that
one-on-one would be tough.
that
Yeah,
that like would be flames, bro. Like KD versus Bron, they
that
like
would be tough.
Kyrie versus like Ant. You know, man, like
Yeah,
that like would be tough. Like a like whole
like a one-on-one tournament.
tournament.
That
That's to see
that would
who
be
like
flames.
type
That
joint.
that would be flames, bro.
You know, cause this crap ain't it. Like I long for the days of my ch- childhood when like all star games were like tough, but now it's
I
just
feel you.
trash juice, trash juice. But with that being said, thank you all for coming and listening to the pod. It is 54 minutes and 1 second. There we go. This joint went longer than I thought, but when you have good conversation, things expand. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to your boy. Um, we're gonna try to put put out a like pod each week. I'm gonna have to ask Nile what his schedule is, but like that'll be outside of the actual pod. But yeah, the Sixers play tomorrow against the Miami Heat, and then they will have 26 games to test their skills going into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I think that is it. Do you have any, any last words, my guy?
Not really, just really praying for the best for the Sixers and just hoping for a miracle. That's it. Just hoping for a miracle that Embiid comes back and that he's better than when well he's better than before he had got injured, and we can make a deep playoff run this year. So that's my hope. I don't think it's going to happen, but sometimes miracles happen.
Miracles
So
do happen. Exactly.
just praying for a miracle. That's pretty much it.
We will talk to y'all next time. Stay safe, and I hope you learned something. Boom!
It's a good